finance plays a pretty big role in cancer drug development.
Clearly, there are some winners and losers, but the question is, what are we expecting over the course of the next few months?
It was really all geared around the impact that this technology could have on finance, making finance better.
What if the person trying to save lives, fix climate change, and reform finance also warns you not to trust AI with your money just yet? This is the real story of MIT economist Andrew Lo, the professor who rebuilt finance around people. There's something unforgettable about sitting in Professor Andrew Lo's lecture hall at MIT. It's not flashy, it's not showy, but when he speaks, numbers become stories and equations feel like life lessons. He doesn't teach finance the way most people do. He teaches it like it matters to your family, your health, and your future. Lo built his reputation on financial engineering. He created models that helped investment firms make smarter decisions. He ran his own asset management firm, and for a while, it was all about the math, until life changed the equation. In just 7 years, Lo lost 6 people close to him to cancer, including his mother. That pain wasn't abstract, it was personal, and it shifted his view of the world. He realized that life-saving cancer treatments often don't get developed, not because the science is lacking, but because the money isn't there. That realization hit him hard. All his years of studying finance had taught him how to manage risk, optimize returns, and forecast uncertainty. But what if those same skills could be used to fund cancer drugs, to accelerate clinical trials, to save lives? That's when his career pivoted from chasing profits to serving people. Reimagining finance through human behavior. Lo's work centers on one big idea. Markets aren't rational, but humans are predictably irrational. That's where traditional economic theories fall short. They assume people always act in their best interest. But that's not true. We panic, we freeze, we follow the crowd. And markets reflect that behavior, often in chaotic ways. To account for this, Lo developed the adaptive markets hypothesis. It mixes evolution and finance. Instead of viewing markets as stable machines, he sees them as ecosystems constantly evolving, shaped by competition, adaptation, and human emotion. Why AI can't fully replace human judgment? Yet, let's talk about artificial intelligence, especially large language models like ChatGPT. They're everywhere now, even creeping into investment advice. But Professor Lo says, hold up. These tools are brilliant at summarizing reports, rewriting content, and offering quick insights. But when it comes to managing your life savings, they're not ready, not even close. Lo explains it like this. LLMs don't understand truth. They generate patterns of words based on training data. Sometimes they hallucinate, making up facts with total confidence. That's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous in finance. He's seen people try to plug AI into retirement planning models and trust the answers blindly. But Lo warns, don't do that. Not without checking the math, not without human oversight. Instead, treat AI like a co-pilot, a helpful sidekick. Ask it to explain financial jargon or summarize a 40-page earnings report. But don't let it make the final call on where your money goes. That's your job or your advisor's. For example, when evaluating a long-term investment portfolio, you still need certified risk models. Use AI to explore ideas, not execute decisions. That's how Lo uses it himself, combining ChatGPT with traditional Excel-based simulations and vetted datasets. Why clean energy needs a finance overhaul. Another cause close to Lo's heart is climate change. Right now, about 82% of global energy still comes from fossil fuels. 10 years ago, it was around 83 to 84%. Not much progress. We keep hearing about an energy transition, but Lo says that's misleading. Global energy use is still growing. So even though we're adding solar and wind, we're not replacing fossil fuels, we're just stacking more energy on top. To actually reduce emissions, we need energy addition, not just transition. And that means investing heavily in underfunded but high-potential sources like nuclear fission, already proven in power plants. Nuclear fusion, still in development but game-changing. geothermal energy, which taps heat from beneath the earth. But these don't get much funding. Why? Because they're long-term plays. Investors want quick returns. Governments are hesitant. Risk feels too high. That's where finance can flip the script. Lowe says we need to design new financial products like green bonds, public-private partnerships, or venture funds that make these investments attractive. Show governments and institutions that they can earn solid returns and fight climate change at the same time. That's real impact. Why life-saving drugs aren't getting made and how to fix it. Lowe applies the same thinking to biomedical innovation. He used to believe that if a drug showed promise in the lab, the funding would follow. But that's not true. Many drug companies won't touch early-stage cancer treatments because the odds of failure are too high. They'd rather invest in products that already have a market. But Lowe found a way around that. He proposed mega-funds large pools of capital spread across dozens of drug candidates. The idea is to diversify risk. If just a few succeed, they pay for the rest. That's finance stepping in, not just as a banker, but as a bridge between life and death. Finance isn't neutral, it's a force. Here's the part that really makes Lowe different from other economists. He doesn't see finance as a neutral tool. He sees it as a force, one that can either reinforce inequality or reduce it. We often treat finance like plumbing, something behind the walls. But Lowe says it's more like electricity. It powers everything: healthcare, climate, education, and innovation. And if we wire it wrong, the consequences can be massive. He wants to reallocate capital in smarter, more intentional ways. Not by handing out blank checks, but by designing market-based incentives that nudge money toward things that matter. What drives him? You might wonder, why is Lowe so driven? He wasn't always like this. Early in his career, he focused on pure data. Losing 6 loved ones to cancer changed him. It brought his work down to earth. Suddenly, the charts and numbers weren't just theory, they were real. And that's when the empathy started. Since then, everything he's done, from his AI research to his clean energy advocacy, has been guided by one question: how can I use my skills to help people live better, longer lives? That's the heart of this story. It's not just about Professor Lowe, it's about us. We live in a world where finance, AI, and human behavior are colliding faster than ever. If we don't engage with those systems, we risk getting left behind, or worse, misled. Because the truth is, you don't need to be an MIT economist to start thinking like one. You just need to care about outcomes and use the right tools wisely. If this story sparked something in you, if it made finance feel a little more human or AI a little more real-like, comment and subscribe. Tell us how you see the future of money, health, and technology colliding in your life.